You are listening to one of the most prolific podcasts. I'm Caleb.
It's your boy DT.
And I'm Ken.
We are the Mind Report.
Here to push your mind and change your thoughts.
What's going on, everybody? We're very, very grateful to be here right now. We're very, very grateful to be able to just deliver a message to you guys weekly with my brothers. For you guys who don't know me, my name is Caleb.
I'm Ken.
And I'm DT.
And we are the Mind Report. So I want to ask you today, DT, what's going to be the topic of the day?
Man, I love this one. This right here hit home. Mindset is everything. And I think that's one of the things that this podcast is built upon, mindset. We touch on a whole bunch of different things so you can actually check your thoughts as far as mindset so you can have some to set your mind on. But I want everyone listening to this right now. Take out a piece of paper, pause it, do whatever you have to do and write down this sentence. Mindset is everything. Now I want you to take a look at it and I want you to ask yourself, what type of mindset do I have? Is my mind the root of all my failure or my success? Now note, these two things operate off something. The failure mindset is fueled by fear and the success mindset is fueled by faith. I want to question this with a few questions. Do you think that Thomas Edison, if he didn't have a mindset, either I will find a way or I will build a way, could he continue his inventions after failing more than 1,000 times? Could Michael Jordan himself, the GOAT that we know today, if he would have stopped at the point where he got cut from his team, could we actually call him that? Could we enjoy Disney World or the films that Disney put out if he would have gave up after all his bankruptcies or business failures? I would say they could never accomplish the greatness that they have in life if they didn't never have a necessary mindset. So the question I ask you guys is, how big is mindset to you?
Oh man, mindset to me is everything. It can make or break you in any situation you come across. The way you look at something determines the outcome of the whole situation. If you feel disrespected, it may cause you to act in a way that'll have you somewhere where you don't want to be. But if you look at it in a more positive way, it may have you walking away feeling great for being in control of who you are as an individual.
Right. Yeah, having a great mindset definitely does play a big part of your life, and especially with perspective on how you view things and how you may take things that come your way with life. If you have the right mindset, then you are looking for growth and you're looking for elevation and lessons that you possibly could learn from the mistakes. But if you don't have the right mindset, every mistake that you may come across, you may think that is a failure. And then at some point that you may give up. There's always something to learn from it. In every aspect of business, like DT said in the beginning, there's plenty of business owners that started up their business and it took a while for them to have some success. But if they didn't have the right mindset, we wouldn't have some of the big top companies that we have today. So it's important to have the right mindset, because even if things aren't happening right now, the things that you want it to happen as quick as you want it to happen, if you have the right mindset, it's going to eventually happen. It may take 10 years, it may take 5 years, but if you have the right mindset, then you're definitely going to attract what you want.
You got to trust the process, don't rush the process.
Right.
But I think your mindset should be very, very big, I must say, because it's basically the set of your beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and of yourself. It influences how you think, feel, behave, and react to any given situation. Your mindset also plays a very crucial role. Like, this is a starring role in how you cope with life challenges. It can either be positive or it can be negative. The mind is a powerful tool depending on what it's set on. It will only attract the things that it is in harmony with. Good or bad, you get to choose. It is always the beginning and you get what you choose in the end. I think that the mindset comes in 3 main powers, and I just want to break it down. Number 1, the power of perception. Mindset is everything, especially when you consider the power of perception. What we see depends on what we look for. Just like a photographer that uses various lenses to show show reality in different ways, we each have a set of filters in which we see the world or the problems that's going on in our world. Your viewpoint shape your thoughts, decisions, actions, and ultimately the feeling of success for you. If you're experiencing a challenging time right now, think about how you can shift your perspective. You have to take time to clear your lenses so you can view life from a higher perspective. So I got a question for you guys.
What's that, man?
Do you have the ability to reframe any situation of adversity or failure?
Yes, sir. Yes, you do. I want everybody to understand that you most definitely have the ability to reframe any situation of adversity or failure. Failures and adversity only makes you who you intend to be. They should never, ever, at any given time, break you as an individual. Every difficulty or failure comes with a lesson. I want y'all to understand that every difficulty and failure comes with a lesson. Mm-hmm. Your job is to identify that lesson, snatch it, keep it, and run with it, and save it for later on in life when similar situations hit you. You will know what to do because you already done came across that issue. Things have to happen in order to teach you what you need to know in the long run.
Right. You do have the choice to reframe it just because it's your response. If you can control your response of how you handle things, then you have control of the situation. And I always love to say when I'm speaking to people and when people blame their current situation that they're in, I tell them like all the time, and I've said this plenty of times, that it's not your situation that makes you, it's you that make the situation. That's why I think it's important for people to be in tune with your own reactions, because your reaction can really frame your future in any situation. It's just a reaction.
I feel you on that. How we handle failure is more important than how we handle success. Every single last one of us listen to this right now. We are all going to experience failure at some points in our life. And our mindsets about failure is what determines whether we bounce back or we fall hard. The secret to seeing the benefit within every struggle is to shift our mindsets about the perceived challenge we are facing. When my business failed, I took a lesson learned from that. I just stood back and I seen what was going wrong and I just made adjustments to it just so I can get further than where I was. When I failed a test, when I was in school, I just seen it as I didn't do enough at the time to study and prepare for the test. So once I failed it, I just went at it from a different angle and I studied a little bit more harder. When I had a losing trade or a week in the markets, I don't dwell on it. I just adjust and evaluate what I didn't see at first before I took the trade. Long story short, challenges and failures come with life. I'm here to tell you that. And how you would deal with them is totally up to you. Life is like riding a bike. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Now, going into number 2, the power of imagination. This is a big one. Never underestimate the power of your imagination. It's not just an unproduced product looking to be manufactured. Imagination is a God-given dynamic that opens up the doorway to your true potential, an idea for you and for your life that you want. We need to activate this powerful tool because it is the creative center and it's the first step in doing so. And if you can imagine anything, you definitely can do it. I think Albert Einstein said that imagination is the previews to life coming attraction. And I like when Steve Harvey broke it down and he said your imagination is where your real life is. When you imagine big things, it's basically God showing you a preview of life coming attraction that he have for you. And the biggest dream killer is telling it to a small mind. What you have stored in your imagination, wondering why your family and friends shoot it down because God gave it to you and not them. The things that have been in your imagination, you have to start working on them. And these are the gifts that God gave you. Thinking about it, we practically using in everything that we do. Whether you purchase something or you go and use some type of service, it all started in someone's mindset. I want you to break it down to this thing and I want you to think about it. Your cell phone, your car, planes, clothes, etc., are the things that started out in somebody's imagination and they had to have the mindset to act on it. So I got a question. How do you use your imagination now to alter your mindset?
I'm going to tell y'all, like, y'all, my brothers, y'all know a couple of my goals. Y'all know exactly materialistically, financially, y'all know where I stand with a lot of stuff. So whenever an unpleasant situation happens or unpleasant person crosses my path and I feel like reverting back to the old Ken, I think about my goals and where I see myself. I even stop and I tell myself sometimes that the future Ken wouldn't even respond to the bull crap that I'm facing at this very moment. He has way too many other things going on for him to even think about responding to the nonsense. So at the end of the day, like wherever you see yourself, when certain things happen in life, you really have to take a step back and remind yourself of who you are, what you got going on, where you going, where you see yourself at, and then determine if whatever is going on right now, like if that plays a role in how you should move.
I think that how people can use the imagination to alter their mindset is just by thinking about your purpose and what you want to do. Because in Proverbs 23:7,
he going biblical.
In Proverbs 23:7, it says, thinking in his heart, so is he. So it just means you are what you think about. And your mind literally will show you what you're consistently thinking about. I think that you should put yourself in a position to be able to feed your mindset so that you're able to use your imagination to your advantage, because your imagination will show you anything. You can be anything you want. You can do anything you want. That's like God showing you like, hey, this is possible. You know, do you see yourself in this right now? Do you see yourself being this person? So I think that it's just important.
I use imagination to see what it is I want or I desire in life, especially during hard times. Like I always tell myself, if you going through something financially, just say, hey, I'm so happy and grateful now I'm a multimillionaire. If you going through hard times as far as like family, just say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I gained some type of understanding and I'm not leaning on my own understanding about what's going on right now. There's a whole bunch of things that you could tell yourself to alter whatever it is that you got going on. But I know if anything going on with you right now, I can tell you, listening to this right now, circumstances will divert you from using your imagination because it's the negative part of it that you're seeing. You're not seeing the positive that you could be imagining to get you through the hardship. And the one thing that I do know about hardship, it basically steals away from you. When you face with a financial setback, like I just said, you just got to tell yourself something else. When you're feeling a little bit nervous about delivering a message to a crowd, you just basically, you combating it with something positive. Just say, I'm so happy and grateful now that the speech went well and everyone took some type of value from it. When you feeling some type of uncertainty with your purpose, you basically combat it with say, you know what, I'm so positive. I'm so happy that I have some type of positive impact on somebody's life. So now you fulfilling your purpose. And you may feel or see something that isn't positive. Like I just told you, you're going to go through a lot in life. It's going to be a lot of things that you see and you perceive as not positive. But with it, you can imagine some good things that's going on that you possibly want to see going on in life. And I guarantee you, once you use your imagination as far as good, when we talk about possibilities rather than bad, when we talk about disadvantages, you can be able to shift your mindset.
Right.
At what point in life did you begin to check your mindset?
I began to check my mindset at some point in life was when I converted over from being a troublemaker to being a difference maker. When I used to find myself being in trouble, playing around in the streets, doing this and that, I found myself in a very negative space. But when I started to develop me personally, so which means I had to digest a lot of audios, read a lot of books, not many, but read a lot of books that resonate with me, it started to shift my whole mindset. And I started to think a little bit different. And it's a known fact, when you think different, you move different.
Right.
And when you move different, you achieve more. So when I started to shift that, then that's when it actually became real big for me as far as shifting my mindset from the negative to the positive.
I say for me, when I had a shift, it was when I was younger. I was about 15, 16 years old, and I was going through a YouTube channel, and I forgot the kid's name. But what really made me have a shift is he was my age, right? And he was a millionaire. And I'm like, okay, like I can do that. So what's the difference between me and him? Like what's so special? What route did he took? What can I learn from him? So That's what really made me start shifting my mindset, is because there's kids out here that's actually making real deal good money, that's actually reaching their goals and just being the best version of themselves. And they have that freedom to do that. You don't have to be grown to start having goals and stuff like that. You can start this stuff now. You can start implanting this stuff now. So I think that's what really made me start changing up my mindset. And that's why I feel like I've always had an open mind, because I'm always open for change, because sometimes change can always be better.
I would say I began checking my mindset when I realized just how toxic of a person I was.
Damn, he came all the way out.
Yeah, I used to be a toxic person, bro. Honestly, it really took me a minute to be accountable and accept the fact that sometimes it was me. But when I accepted it and really looked into self, it made me work on self. And that's where the change in my mindset came from, was like realizing that, I had a little toxic side to me that I need to get under control and work on it. To follow up that question, I would say, when y'all started changing y'all mindset, was it an easy process or did y'all find it intricate?
I think it was, I'm going to say from my point of view, I believe that it was just easy just because I was still learning stuff. I was learning new things. And this is just me a couple years ago, speaking past tense. I was learning about the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. I was learning about the laws of power. I was getting into more of my relationship with God. So I was just like, okay, I love it because I'm learning, I'm elevating myself. Right. I'm being a better version of me. Right. I just think that it was just quick for me. Now, shifting other people's mindset, that's a whole different type of story right there, because we have a lot of people, and I've noticed, this is my personal opinion, I just want to state that out, but me talking to a lot of older people have fixed mindsets. And what a fixed mindset is, a person that doesn't allow new things or new opportunities to come their way. They're just going to pass down everything that comes their way. They're going to be very quick to pass it down because their mindset is fixed. The screws are already sealed tight. Mm-hmm. And there ain't, you can use a hammer, you can use a jackhammer, that ain't coming open because their mindset is already fixed. So throughout the process, it can get hard, because if you have a lot of people around you that have a fixed mindset, all they're going to do is just have their expectations of how you should live and how you should do things because of what they've been doing. So it depends on your environment. Now, if you have people around you that's open and that's willing for change and just have an open mindset in general, then I think the process will be a lot easier. So I think it just really depends on your environment too, and if you allow certain things to get to you.
For me, I can definitely tell you it was hard.
Yeah.
Definitely coming from where I was coming from and then doing the things that I was doing, it was very, very hard, because everything is hard before it becomes easy. Mm-hmm. And I'm always tell people that, like, especially when you're dealing with something that's been contaminated for so long, then you think your way is the right way, just because of the people, like Caleb said, the people you be around, the people you hang around, or it could be just your upbringing, because it's a lot of things that you really can't break unless you have a strong mindset. And I know we real big on paradigms and shifting paradigms. That's the hardest thing for you to change. Yeah. And I think for people, it's hard to switch other people's mindsets, but I think it's more harder to switch your own mindset versus somebody else's mindset, because this is something you battling with within yourself. Right. It's thoughts after thoughts, then things after things. It's a repetition throughout the years, so it's hard for you to actually shift that off button versus just keeping it on. Right. You have to actually go up there and put some manual labor in and unscrew that light bulb in order for you to shift your mindset. So I can say that it's definitely hard. But one thing that I do know, once your mindset change, everything on the outside will change along with it. Right. But it's just up to you, and you got to work on you every single day, just like you brush your teeth. You have to brush up your mind every single day. Yeah. If you don't, it's gonna be some bad results.
Right. Yeah, some people don't do that every day.
Sadly, they don't.
But for me, I would say like it wasn't the easiest. I wouldn't say it was the hardest, but it most definitely wasn't the easiest. I used to hate being wrong. For me, it was either you accept that I'm right and stay, or you be wrong and leave. So it took me a little time to break out of wanting to be and also feeling right at the same time, and accepting that most times it's really not about right or wrong. Like, everybody has different views. It's just a matter of understanding where the other person stands at. So that's what made the process easier, changing my mindset, understanding that it's not about being right or wrong. It's just like accepting that people won't always agree. It's like a agree to disagree type thing.
Right. When you at the bottom, what type of mindset would you have?
I would have the mindset of a survivor. I'd be doing anything to come up. I wouldn't say anything like.
Hold up now.
It's too broad.
Right, it's too, yeah. But I'd be in survival mode. Like, you know, like my focus would be on my dreams, my goals, where I see myself at. When you really like at the bottom, you really shouldn't have no time for anything other than strategizing how you finna coming up with a game plan as to how you finna get to wherever you see yourself at.
And to add on with that, you have to really expect things to work out in your favor. When I go into certain situations, I try not to prepare for the worst. I try and expect everything to work out in my favor. And that means with my goals too. Like, I expect my goals to work out in my favor.
But I think when you at the bottom, you have to develop a winner's mindset, because if you think you lost, you already lost. Like, you need to see challenge is not a problem. Seeing an opportunity is not a burden, and seeing a hurdle is not an unbreakable wall. Like, one thing that I do know about losers, especially when it come time for you to be at the bottom, because nothing lasts forever. If you got that loser mentality, you would just give up and then you would just quit. But once you develop the mentality of winning when you down, whether you scared or you have a fear of failure, you're going to keep moving. And the difference between winning and losing is most often the time not quitting. So you just have to develop that mindset. No matter what go on, I'm still going to win.
You have to win. And that's why I feel like, when I was saying earlier, you have to expect things that work in your favor, because you have to really put yourself in a position to win. You know, some people don't put themselves in a position to win, and they wonder why they have the certain results that they're having, because you didn't put yourself in a position to win. When it comes to this mindset, I just think that it's important for people to really just check everything, including where you're going. Are you headed in the right direction? Are you going the right way? Check the GPS. Is it leading you the right way, or is it taking you left in what you're supposed to be?
And if you listen to this right now, changing your mindset does not happen by accident. And most of all, it is not easy. It happens by choice. Your mindset is truly everything. Your mindset drives the outcomes in your life. It creates the reality according to your thoughts that you choose. Mindset is a set of values and beliefs that guide the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions that you take. Think of it like a GPS, like Caleb said. Is it guiding you through life, or is it hindering you through life? Think about how you can shift your mind to better serve you. If you can change your mindset, you can change your life.
Hopefully we added some type of value to your mind so you can check your thoughts. Follow us on Instagram at The Mind Report. Also stream us whichever way you would like to at www.themindreportpodcast. I'm your host, Ken.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm DT.
We are The Mind Report,
and we are out.
If you enjoyed this podcast episode, make sure you share it with someone else.
And be on the lookout for new episodes. And make sure you subscribe now.
This is The Mind Report.
And we are out.